the session and start the sharing as well. Let me close everything. Okay. All right. So good morning, everyone. We will continue from where we left off. So yesterday we had done some tips, tricks, text to column, flash fill. We had also done some text functions, right? So quick recap of what we had done, and we will continue from that point. So we had done yesterday 001, which is first I showed you the search bar, which is this one. Then I told you the new window, which is very helpful. New window allows you to multitask, which means that you can work on multiple applications at the same time, right? Let's say you want to look at 2 sheets of the same Excel file. And then I also told you the QAT, which was nothing special, just right click and add to quick access toolbar. That option comes here on the left side. After this, I showed you how dollar signs work, but I also showed you that you can get the result without using a dollar sign. This is called dynamic arrays, and this is a spill formula. But I have given you both the options. As you can see, I've given you the one with the dollar also. I have given you the one with the without the dollar also. By the way, about 15 minutes back, I have sent you an email to all of you from me directly, which has the recording for yesterday's session, and it also has the solved examples. So this file that I'm sharing with you. Right? Then we did flash fill. I think we spent a lot of time on this, on flash fill. And we also did some functions. So we did left, mid, right. We did find, we did length. After that, we did text join and concatenate. And finally, we did upper and trim. Any questions so far, anyone? After this, we will continue with if, sum if, countif, aggregate, subtotal.
So I have a query on text column date.
Yep.
So can you please repeat once again the formula?
There is no formula here. So what we are doing is, let's say you have the data like this, where there is a period. It should not be a dot. It should be a dash, right? So we don't, basically, this is what we want to do. If I'm using Control plus F, I will replace my dot with a dash like this, right? That is one way of doing it. So we can select it, press Control F, and what are we replacing? I'm replacing a dot with a dash. Right? Let me just zoom in so that all of you can see this clearly. Full stop is being replaced with a dash. The moment you do this, you notice that it automatically gets converted into proper dates. That's one way of doing it. The second way of doing it is to use flash fill. Very simple, 11/11/2014. And as you can see, when I press flash fill, it works. Right? Any other question, anyone?
Yeah, Havish, please repeat that length and find formula once again, please.
Absolutely. Let's just come to the problem first. Just a minute. Let me do it from the beginning. How many characters is the first name? AARON. That is 5 characters. So when I say that I want to find a space, what will be the result? Everyone? If I start counting from the left, AARON space, the space will be the 6th character, obviously. In the second name, it will be 7 because JUSTIN and so on. Now, if it is 6, I want to do a -1 so that I only get the length of the first name. Like my name is Havish, so my length will be 6. Aaron is 5 characters, so the length will be 5, like this. What do we do with this number 5? From the left side, we will say that from the left of H6, how many number of characters do we want? 5, and we already have 5, right? Which is this. That's what we're doing. First step, find the space. Second step, do a -1. Third step, apply the left function.
Right.
Right? Okay. In this one, there were 3 steps. The first step was, let me just highlight it for you. The first step was we found the complete length. Can you tell me what is the complete length of the first name? How many characters?
First or last?
No, both of them. The entire data. What is the length of the entire name? 13 characters. AARON space. That is 6.
13, total 13.
13.
So what will be the length here? It will be 13. Correct? Now from the length, I'm finding the space. And what is the space? It is the 6th character. So this is 6. So when I do 13 minus 6, what will I get? I will get 7. That is why I'm doing
7.
6, comma 7. Okay, that is the logic. Do remember that you can get these results using flash fill as well, but I'm teaching you formulas because formulas are dynamic, right? Flash fill, just a minute. So if I do RM and I say control, 1 second, I'll have to remove the heading also. If I do control E, you notice it works perfectly. If I write Bergman, control E works perfectly. But why am I teaching you formulas? Because formulas will be dynamic. Flash fill will not be dynamic. Right? Good. Any other question, anyone? Upper and trim is very simple. Trim will remove all the additional spaces, so there will be only one space, and upper will convert it into uppercase.
Yeah, Havish, one question here. If we want to convert this in uppercase and lowercase both, then any formula is there?
What does it mean, upper and lowercase both?
Like Samsung is in S in uppercase of
Okay.
Samsung, and
Okay.
Convoy C is in lowercase.
Yeah, so that will become a little more difficult. I will show you the answer so that I can share the file with you, okay? But I will not explain it to you right now. I mean, I will explain it, but let's not practice. It will take a lot of time. So the first thing I will do is I will take left, right? What will it give me? Comma 1, it will give me only that S, right? Like this. Now I need to convert everything else into lowercase. So I will say concatenate lowercase. But what do I want to make lower? I don't want to make the entire thing lower. I just want to make starting from A till 3, correct? And how do I do that? I will say that from the right of W6, how many characters do I want? I want the length of W6 minus 1, right? Like this. Let me show you the formula once. Just a minute. Just equal to formula text. Does it make sense? What are we doing? We are first saying that this is uppercase, first character. And what is this? This is the entire rest of the data, starting from A till 3. I took the total length. I did a -1. Why are we doing a -1? Because I've already taken one character. That's why I'm taking -1 for the length.
Right.
Right? See, it's pure logic. And another thing I will tell everyone, please do not remember these things. It is not worth it. I have given you a formula like this. What will happen tomorrow if you have another data on a new sheet? Let's say I have a new sheet in which I have written, let's say, GSK revenue for this quarter, something like this. Okay. Now, how do you apply the same formula? I have already given you the formula. Just do Control C, Control V. You understand my point, no? There is no point learning and remembering these formulas. Just understand how it works, because you don't need to write it again and again. Once you have written it one time, just copy and paste whenever you need it. Okay, good. So anyway, I'm keeping the answer, so I'll send this file to you and all of you can have a look at it. Okay. Now, today we will start to do a few more formulas. So please come to 002, everyone. 002.
Yes.
Okay. And let's come to the first sheet. Okay. Let's see what the problem statement is. I have a data set which has market. So there are 5 markets that we have: Africa, APAC, Europe, Latin America, North America. Then I have the product ID, I have the category, I have the subcategory, I have the product name, and I have the sales amount. Right? My question is, I want to know, if you just zoom out a little bit, I want to know what is the total sales for USCA, United States and Canada. How will I find it? Anyone? You notice that there are 5 markets that we have. I only want to find the sale for United States and Canada.
Sum if.
So we do sum if. Okay. What is the range?
Sum if the total sales range.
No. That is the sum range. Sales will be the sum range. But what is the range where we are searching for the
Range
market?
is okay. Market.
Column E.
Market.
In column E, what is the criteria? That means which market are we searching for? USCA, United States, Canada. Now,
Yeah, comma.
which row, which column do we want the result from? That is column J.
J.
That's it. Now it will tell you 5532. If you change it, you notice that you're getting different results.
Here, no need to put the dollars in, right?
No need to
Because
put dollar. Why not?
individually, yeah.
Because I'm only writing one formula. See, if I was copying the formula in other cells, then I need a dollar sign. If there is only one formula, then you don't need the dollar, right? Plus, I've selected the entire column. So in any case, I don't need the dollar sign.
So while selecting the criteria, you
Yep.
selected the complete, the entire column, right? From E.
Range. The range is the entire column. Criteria is only lambda.
Havish, please repeat.
Okay. In this column, how many types of market are there? 5 of them. Africa, APAC, Europe, LATAM, USCA. Out of these 5 markets, which criteria are we searching for? USCA. That is what we are doing. So if you look at the formula, I'm saying, look at this. What is the range of all the market in column E? Out of the entire list of values in column E, what is the criteria that we are searching for? We are only searching for one criteria, which is Latin America. Right? So I'm choosing B8. That means that only these rows will be highlighted. If I can highlight it for you. If I look at LATAM, only this one, right, is coming in LATAM. So what will happen? It will only give me the sum of this result. So let's say I was searching for USCA, just as an example. What is happening? It is telling me USCA is coming in this row, then it's coming in this, and in this row. So it will only give me the sum of the same cells, nothing else. Right? Like this. Any question you have asked me, I will answer.
So formula is equal to sum if, then bracket.
Range. What
then
is the
I have to
range?
range is entire row, no? I have to select from the
entire column.
entire column. Yes, entire column E.
Second condition is what is the criteria in this column? In column E, what are we searching for? Right? We are only searching for one market, right? And that market is USCA, which is in B8. That is the criteria. That is the condition.
Yeah.
And then the sum is coming from column J.
So, Havish, I used to do by selecting manually from E4 to till last. Okay,
There's nothing
that's
wrong
not
with
required.
that. There's nothing wrong with that. So I could have also done, everyone, I could have also done it like this. You know, E4 to E103, then search for USCA, and then I could have done like this. This is what you mean, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what is the disadvantage of doing this?
So if you're adding some data,
if
then
tomorrow
that is
you
right.
add one more value below, obviously that will not get updated, right? Plus, isn't this
Got it.
more difficult to say 4103? What if you make a mistake? So it's much simpler always to select the entire column.
Okay, this is actually easy also, no?
Yeah.
When compared to selecting from.
Absolutely. See, you know what? When you select E4 103, there's a big chance that you might make a mistake. Anyone, you know, rather than selecting 104, we only selected 103. We left out one row. If you select the entire column, then that risk is not there.
Correct. Got it.
Got it.
Right, everyone? Let's do one more example. Now, this is a little more tricky. Now, I want to look at the sales in USCA, which is okay, between 2000 and 5000. Right? That means that first I want to look at USCA, and then I only want to look at sales between 2000 and 5000. So in USCA, actually, there is no value between 2 and 5. So let me just make it between 0 and 5000. Right? So I will say number filter between 0 and 5000. And the values are like this. Now, can you tell me how many conditions are there in the second problem?
3 conditions.
3 or 2 conditions?
In 2 conditions.
No,
Two conditions.
No. There are 3 conditions. See, if I ask you, is your age between 30 and 35? What does that mean? It means there are 2 conditions. Is it greater than equal to 30 and is it less than equal to 35? Correct? This is 3 conditions. Greater than equal to 2000, less than equal to 5000 and USC. Let's see. What will I write?
Sum if.
No. Why can we not write sum if? Because sum if can only accept one condition, right? Because we want to write more than one, we need to select sum if s.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
That is the
Sum if
difference.
fish.
Sum if will only have one criteria. If you notice, only one condition is there. In sum if
Okay.
s, can you guess how many conditions are possible here? Just a random guess.
N numbers.
No, it's not n number. It is 127. So the 127 conditions are out in this, which is more than what you will ever need. You will never need more than maybe 5 or 6. Right? Okay. Now let's see.
127. Huh?
What is the first condition? 127 is that number. What is the first condition?
Greater and less than 2000.
No. But look at my argument. Look at this. What is sum range?
Sum range.
2000 to 5000 is
No.
USCA for the market total sales of USCA, I think.
Column J.
Sales.
Total
sales.
sales.
Sum range
Yes.
will be the number column, no? So it will be column J. Can you see
Yeah.
the small difference? In the first formula, where was the sum range? It was at the end.
And only.
Market.
So this is very confusing. A lot of people make a mistake. So remember in sum if, in fact, I'll write it down. Sum if, sum range is last, and in sum if s, sum range is
Sum range is
the first. Okay,
First.
make sure not to make this mistake. It's very common to make this mistake. In sum if s, sum range comes in the beginning. So the first thing I will select is column J. Okay, now tell me. In column T,
Criteria,
we are
market.
searching for this. We've already done USC.
Second
So
one.
far, so good. What is the second criteria?
Second criteria between the values.
That the value should be greater than 2000. Which column should be greater than 2000?
Range.
J.
J
column.
only.
J.
But look very carefully how I'm writing greater than equal to 2000. I'm writing it in a double quote, greater than equal to 2000. And then again in J, I will write in double quote less than equal to 5000. Okay? Let me just make zoom in so that all of you can see this clearly. Just a minute. I'm just going to zoom
So
in a
it is.
little bit. 1 second. Just a minute.
If number is there, no need to put no.
No, you have to put it. The number is there, you don't need to put it, but this greater than equal to sign is also there, no?
Okay.
If I do it like this, it will not work. You will have to put the double quote. It is a must. Okay. Now, my next question is, how do you break a formula into multiple lines like this? Does anybody know this? How do you break a formula like this, like how I'm doing? You
No
press
idea.
Alt Enter.
Alt enter.
Alt and Enter at the same time. Inside the formula, you notice that I can break my formula into 4 lines like this.
Enter.
Do you think this is better than writing it in 1 line?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Because the problem is that if you write a long formula, it is so difficult because you will end up making some mistake, right? But if you write a formula in multiple lines, like a paragraph, the chances are lesser that you will make a mistake.
Havish, I just want to know clarification. Like Alt Enter is only for this formulas, or we can enter for any sentence in Excel also?
Any sentence. So, for example, if I've written hello, if I press Alt Enter, I can break it into a second line.
Okay.
Okay.
So 3 conditions, everyone. First condition is USCA. Second condition is greater than equal to 2000. Third condition is greater than equal to 5000. Less than equal to 5000. The value is 0. That's okay. Just change it to Asia Pacific. Okay? So that you get a result.
Let me try this.
So Havish, what I used to do earlier, when we are entering any in a particular column or a row, a lot many things we have to go for the wrap text. So instead of doing wrap text, we can use the Alt and Enter, right?
Exactly. See, wrap text is great. I also use it, but there are certain cases where you don't want to use wrap text or it doesn't work properly. That is where Alt Enter will help. Like you have a very long remark in a cell. How do you break it into a paragraph? By using Alt.
Okay.
Is everybody getting this answer? 82185 when you select Asia Pacific.
Yeah, Avis, little bit of clarification on this
Please.
selection of this Asia Pacific or LATAM.
Okay.
So how to do that?
On the selection in the sense that, are you referring to the formula or are you referring to this drop down?
Yeah, this drop down.
let's cover that. Please click on B4, everyone. Please click on B4. And yeah, take your time. And you want to click on data and the small button called data validation. This one, where my arrow is highlighted. Data validation.
Data validation.
Right? Exactly. This one, data validation, where my arrow is there. Actually, on your system, the button might be somewhere else, but just identify the icon. It should be like this. Right? Data validation. Okay. In data validation, what will we allow? We want to allow a list of values, which is, so I want to allow a list of values. And what is a list of values? I can type the 5 regions. So I can say here, let's say USCA, Asia Pacific with a comma. Okay. I'm not doing all of them. I'm just writing 3 of them. USCA, comma, Asia Pacific, comma, Africa.
So in data validation, we need to go to settings.
I'll tell you, just a minute. Okay. In data validation, you go to allow list, exactly, in settings.
So in allow, it is.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working. So in the data validation, any value, whole number.
Those are other options. So that is used if you want to let the user only put a number between 10 and 100. Right?
Okay,
so you can
okay.
control. You can say that the user cannot enter a number below 10 or greater than 100. Right? But for now, we want a list in this example. Right? I'll cover the other examples later, but for now, we are using a list.
So Habis, earlier what you used to do in the data validation, we used to capture in a same row corner the things which are to include in the drop down. So we have to capture in a corner, and we want to take it as a source file.
Absolutely.
From that particular area. So instead of taking that, we can do it that.
100%. So both things are possible, everyone. So let me just write it down here. In data validation, there are 2 options. So option 1 is that you select the source from cells, right? And option 2 is that you type the values. Both of these will work.
I wish we are missing your voice in between. So no, I don't know, it's network lag.
Let me check. Can the others confirm? You can see my connection is 670 Mbps. So is it okay now?
Yes, it's
Yes,
okay. You are audible.
Okay. If you're facing any issue, just quickly disconnect, take 5 seconds and reconnect. Maybe that will help.
So in settings, we have gone to list and then source.
I'm sorry, tell me again.
So in data validation, settings, list, and then we have to do the source.
I have to click on list and then the source. Exactly.
Okay. So in source, you have to write something.
Like I said, there are 2 options. Either you can type it or you can also select it like this. So if you select
if I want to type, then I need to type all 4.
Exactly, with a comma in between.
Havis, can you please just click C14? I want to see the formula. Check the formula again.
Sure.
Submit.
Yeah, I will also request. You can.
Yes, I think some background noise is coming, so it will be
what
great
I'll do
if we
is,
mute ourselves.
exactly. So what I'll do is, I'm just muting everyone. I would request that whenever you have a question, please unmute yourself and make sure to mute yourself after that. Because there are so many people, there will always be some noise or the other, right, coming in. Yeah, this is the formula, everyone. I have a question for everyone. If I want to change the 2 to 5,000 into 0 to 5,000, how will I do that? Can I select the cell? Will it work? Yes or no? What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
It will not. You know why?
No,
Because
actually, in the formula tab, the particular column you can edit, right?
no. What I'm saying is, see, rather than writing 2000, can I select this cell? Is it the same thing?
No, we cannot select it.
Why not? What is the reason? Because it cannot be inside a double quote. What happens when something is inside a double quote? It becomes text, right? So what I will have to do is I will have to put the B12 outside the double quote. Does this make sense, everyone?
Yes, got it.
I cannot keep B12 inside. Why not? We have already seen that. See, if I write type 2000, no problem. But if I write B12, it is not correct. B12 has to be outside. That's the reason I will have to concatenate with B12. And here also I'll have to concatenate with B30. Now tell me, we are getting the same result, but what is the advantage of doing this?
If the value is changed, then the
then
result also
the entry will
change. Yeah.
change.
Do we
Yes.
need to
Yeah.
change the formula? No. You just need to change the value.
No.
So if I change the value to 2500, the result also changes, right? So this is much better, right? That you don't have to change the formula every time. You simply have to change the value. Right? So just remember this, the sign has to be inside the double quote and the cell has to be concatenated with it. I mean, the first time you do it, it seems a little complex, but 2-3 times when you do it, it will become very simple. Right, everybody? So we've done a good example. I know it's a slightly difficult example, but it covers many topics, right? KJ is the sum range. E is the market. We are searching for Asia Pacific. And there are two more conditions. The value has to be between 2000 and 5000. Okay? And one last question that we're doing is, can you tell me how many transactions are in technology? Like out of all of them, there are 100 transactions. How many are in technology? Anyone?
I think countif formula will be applied.
Absolutely. Very simple. Countif in column G.
And the entire G column,
Searching
yes,
for technology. So
into
it will tell us 27,
B18.
right?
Countif.
See, countif is actually much more simple compared to sumif. Sumif is a little more complex. Right? All right.
That and you use no that in the formula.
Yep.
C14.
Right.
So there after that there is no comma required, right? Between
This is
B2
one
and
thing, no? This thing is one element
this
greater than or equal to 2000.
complete one element. Okay, fine. Got it, Harris.
Right? Should we go to the next example? See, SUMIF, COUNTIF is very important because
Have is one clarity required just to understand. See, Alt Enter, if we click, then we can bring down the break
Correct.
down the formula, right?
Correct.
So if I want to again make it in the same line, then what to do?
Press backspace.
Oh, manually.
Yeah, you will have to do it manually. So if you have written it like this, you'll have to press backspace manually.
Okay.
Actually, if you have written it like this, I don't think you will ever need to make it, you'll ever need to undo it. But yes, I mean, if you have to do it, then you will have to do it manually.
Okay.
Great. Anything else, anyone? So we've done a basic SUMIF, we've done a SUMIFS, and we've also done this. Okay, a quick question, a very
Little more clarity.
On what?
Little more clarity on SUMIF, because SUMIFs I have got.
Okay. SUMIF is much simpler than SUMIF, no? See, let me just zoom out a little bit so that I can show you all the data. One moment. What are we searching for? We are searching for USCA. Where are we searching? We are searching in column E. And what is the sum range? Where are we getting the result from? From column G. That's what we are doing. So if you notice, there are three things that I've done here. Column E is the range. This. What are we searching in the range? The criteria. What is the criteria? USCA. And where is the sum going to come from?
Yeah, B8.
J.
So you have written E manually, or you have just selected the entire column?
It depends. So what I do is, let me show you how I write my formula. I will write equal to sum. Okay, watch carefully. I will press right arrow. Okay. Now, how do you select the entire column? What is the shortcut? Control space bar. It will select the entire column. Right? Then
Control and space bar.
Control and space bar. Then I will go and I will select control space bar. It will select column J. Basically, whenever you press control space bar, it selects the entire column. That is the shortcut. Shift space bar is for the row. Control space bar is for the column.
Yeah, just a second. Let me write this down.
No. Why are you writing it? Just give me a moment. Wait. Since you have mentioned this, I have already created a list of shortcuts like this. Okay, so as you can see, this is a very, very large file which has almost not all the shortcuts, but I would say nearly all the shortcuts you will require. Right? And you can just go through it.
Oh, thank you.
Right? So I'll share this file with you. I'll just keep it on my desktop. I will send it across to you. Okay, good. Let's come back. Anyway, see, you practice. I will also give you some additional data to work on. And when we meet, maybe after 2 or 3 sessions, you can ask me if you have any questions, right, regarding some of the account.
Yeah.
Right? Thank you. Let's do something different now. This is much simpler. I have a very simple question for you. We have 100 values here for sales and profit. And what we need to find is the total, right? So it is equal to sum. Nothing special. Now, can somebody tell me, I have written equal to sum, but if I change the market, if I only select Africa, will the sum change? Yes or no?
Sandeep, can you be on?
Yes, it will change.
Anyone else? Anyone else who feels there is a different answer? That right now the total is what? It is 2,95,000, right? If I only select one market, Africa, will the sum change? Yes or no? Somebody said yes.
Yes.
What about the others?
Yes.
No, it will not change.
It will not change because the array which is
will not
selected is
change.
the
Right? It will not change. Why? Because you are still selecting the sum of F7 to 106. Whether you are selecting one market or two market, it doesn't matter. It will still show you the same number. But this is not good, right? I want to see the sum only of the visible cells, which means I want to find the sum only of the filtered cells. How do you do this? The requirement is clear, no? You know the problem and we have to solve it. We use a function called subtotal. Right? Please write it equal to subtotal.
Okay.
And
Just
what do
a
we do
second.
here? Yeah, take your time. Equal to subtotal, Which one do we want right now? What number do we want out of all this? Anyone?
Sum.
We want the sum, no? So the number is 9. Okay.
9, yeah.
Now a lot of people say, Havish, how will we remember that sum is 9 and average is 1 and count
It is
is
coming in the drop down.
Exactly. You don't have to remember. It will come automatically. So we want to find 9. Now, what is the range? Just select the data. The difference is that right now, both of them are coming as 2,95,000. Right? I'll just write the formula here so that you can see this. Both of them are coming as 2.95, 2.95. But the difference is that when I apply a filter, the first one will not change, but the second one will change every time.
Okay.
Right? Now, it is not that which one is better. Both of them are useful for their own purposes. The first one is also important. The second one is also important, but you need to learn both of them. Any question on
So
this?
can you please repeat once again?
Yeah. See, why are we doing it? I want to find the total for the filtered cells, not for the entire data. So the formula that we are writing is subtotal. The function number is 9, which means we want to find the sum. That's it. And after writing sum, you're selecting. See, this part is same. F7106 is same. The difference is in subtotal we are writing 9 here, which is for sum.
Yeah, perfect. I have done it.
Good. Now,
Yeah. Once again, I
sum.
want to repeat once again. Is equal to subtotal. How to find that 9? I have found out what.
I'll tell you. After you write equal to subtotal and you open the parentheses, this list will come out.
Yeah. On 9th number, it will come as sum.
Right. So 9 is sum.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just write 9.
And then selecting from F7 to
Same
F1
data,
and
the entire
F6.
data. Exactly. What we selected in the sum, we're selecting the same data here.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, this is great, but there is a problem. The problem is, if I write sum of profit, can somebody tell me why are we getting an error? When I write the sum of column
There
G,
are in between the columns which are the blank which are there.
Right. Not a blank, but some
There
error
is
is there.
not
Right?
some
Some
error
error
is
is
there.
there.
Yes.
But why does it happen? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, it's a good thing. We can check. We can check whether
it is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Because if you were getting the result, you will not even know that there is an error in your data, right? So this is Excel telling you that, Havish, I cannot show you the sum because there is an error in the data. Please go and fix that error, right? But what if you want to skip the error? Basically, my requirement is I want to tell Excel, I know there is an error, ignore the error. Now, if you try with the subtotal, it will not work. As you can see, subtotal will not work with errors, right? So I'm just going to write it here. Subtotal does not work with errors. Okay. But if you want to work with errors, we use a new function called aggregate equal to aggregate. Just give me a moment. Let me just make it a little larger so you can see this properly. We say equal to aggregate. Now, the first part of aggregate is exactly like the sum function. As the subtotal, we select 9. Okay. But there is a difference. Once you select 9, there is another option which says, what do you want to ignore? Do you want to ignore nothing, hidden rows, error values, or hidden rows and error values? Can somebody tell me which one do we want to select?
Error values. Ignore error values.
If I say ignore error values, what will happen? If I say 6 and I select my data, it will now give me the sum of the values except the error values, 29791. Okay. Everyone, the formula is written here. 9, 6. 9 means the sum, 6 means ignore error values.
Why 6, Havish? In that list,
No,
in
6
that
is the
list, the
command we are giving. 6 is the command we are giving.
See,
the command. Okay.
there are two commands. What is the first one? 9. What is 9? It is a sum. Okay.
First
But
one is
after
command.
that, there is one more option, which is asking me, what do you want to skip? So I want to ignore the error values, which is
Okay.
6.
Okay, got it.
Okay, but I have another
So Havish,
question.
I have a question regarding this.
Please.
So if any row is hidden, then it will also aggregate that also?
Exactly, that's my point. If I apply a filter, you notice that the number is not changing. So what should you do? Can somebody tell me, rather than 6, what should we select?
Yeah, 7.
7. Everybody, does it make sense?
Yeah.
There are two things we want. It should ignore the errors. It should also ignore the hidden rows. 7 is the one that you will use most often. 99% of the time you will use 7. Now this means that if there is an error, it will still give the result. And if you filter the data, it will still change the result. Look at this.
Perfect.
I'm sorry. Lastly, one more time, you can please explain about aggregate.
9 is okay. 9 means that we want to find the sum, correct? What is 7? 7 means that I want to ignore the hidden rows and the error values.
There are different commands which you can give.
Right. Okay, can somebody tell me if I select 5, what does it mean?
So
Only ignore the hidden
show
rows.
only
the header
which is
data.
shown on the Excel.
Hidden
If
rows.
something is hidden, if something is hidden, it will not aggregate.
Exactly. And what is it similar to if I select 5? If I select 5 here, what are we doing?
Error
We're doing
value will
subtotal.
come. Error value will come.
But it is a subtotal, no? If I say 5, subtotal was also ignoring the error, ignoring the hidden rows, and 5 is also ignoring the hidden row. So basically 5 means subtotal.
Yeah, 5 is subtotal.
Why don't I prove it to you? Earlier we had written subtotal. This time I will write aggregate. I will write 9, 5, and I will select my data, right? And you notice when I filter my data,
295990.
so basically aggregate is a new function. Aggregate is much more powerful than subtotal because if you do 9, 5, you're basically creating a subtotal. Right? But anyway, I'm teaching you both of them because both of them might be.
Aggregate is much more powerful than subtotal, right?
Absolutely. What
subtotal is a
subtotal can
subset
do,
of
aggregate can
aggregate.
also do. Absolutely. What subtotal can do, aggregate can also do.
Subtotal
So in
is a
aggregate, the only thing
subset
is
of
that we
aggregate.
need to.
Yeah, tell me.
So in aggregate, only thing is that we need to enter 5, and everything will be same as subtotal, right?
100%. In fact, I'll write it here. So aggregate option 5 is same as subtotal. Right? 6 will remove errors, and 7 will remove errors and
hidden columns.
Hidden rows, right? Like this.
Okay, understood.
This is a very simple topic. It is not like SUMIF, COUNTIF. It's very simple. You just need to learn what is it. Subtotal will hide the hidden rows. Aggregate will hide the hidden rows and the error values. Any questions on this? Anyone?
Tried both subtotal as well as the aggregate formula, but more or less it's almost same value is coming. So where the difference I can see now?
No. Okay. See, I'll give you an example. This is subtotal, correct?
Yeah.
So if I select Africa, you notice that we are getting 18,978. But what if there was an error here? Will it work? It will not work.
Okay.
That is the reason. Subtotal does not work with errors. That's why I've written it here. Subtotal will not work with errors. If you want to remove errors, then you have to use subtotal.
Avish, I have a question.
Please.
So when you type the aggregate formula, right, and you type either a 9 or 7, etc., these are conditions, correct?
Yep.
So can you please show while you're typing the formula which conditions appear?
So after I write aggregate, I'm just scrolling down. I'm selecting the number 9.
So when you select number 9, just hang on. So when you select number 9, that is sum, correct?
Yep.
And so each one of the numbers is basically telling you what function, what
exactly.
operation will be carried out on the array.
Absolutely. It is mapped with an option. So 1 is average, 2 is count, 3 is counted.
Okay. So you could do a 4 and it would give you the max number out of that.
For example, let me show you a count. Okay. So if I do a 2 and I say 7 and I say my complete data, it will tell me that there are 96 records. That means there are 4 errors out of 100 records. There are 4 errors and 96 values.
Understood. So the first one is essentially the operation.
The operation,
the type of
calculation. Absolutely. Yeah. The second one is the condition in terms of what do you want to ignore from the data.
And the third is the array you select. So
third is the reference or the array that you select. Absolutely. These 0, 1, 2, 3, all of you can ignore. These are used for more advanced formulas where you have other multiple subtotals, but this would not be needed. You can ignore this one. Right, everyone? Okay. The next thing I want to show you is, let me see the question as well. Aggregate is a very useful function. I have a question for you. Don't do it. I just do it for you and you tell me if it makes sense or not. Can somebody tell me what does this mean? I'm applying a filter. I'm writing equal to, okay, watch carefully, subtotal 9, comma, the entire data divided by the sum of the entire data. Right? And I'm making this into a percentage. So I'll convert this into a percentage here. What does 100% mean? Anyone? What does 100% mean here?
All entries have numbers.
We are looking at all the entries, correct? If I change my market to Africa, it makes it 6%. What does it mean?
Africa's contribution is 6% into the entire sales.
It's very smart, right? Like what I'm doing is I'm able to find the contribution from the total. So I'm able to say that for each market, so if I look at Asia Pacific, 54%. If I look at Europe, it is 11%. Actually, this formula should be put at the top, not below, right? So I usually like to have my formulas at the top, not below, right? That makes more sense. So now whenever I apply a filter, so if I say Europe is contributing 11%, LATAM is contributing 3%. See, it's a very useful calculation, right? Because many times we want to find out the percentage contribution without making a pivot table. So this is how you do it. Subtotal divided by sum. Right? Okay. So, you know, be curious, explore, like I have taught you subtotal and aggregate, but you will have to think where all you can use it. One is the simple way of using it, like I've shown you in this example. But the more you think about it, there are many other creative ways of using subtotal, like I have shown you right now, subtotal divided by sum.
Here, can we use aggregate divided by sum?
Yeah, we can do that also.
I wish here we can use aggregate divided by the sum value.
Yeah, we could have said aggregate 9, 5, which is the same as subtotal basically. No difference, exactly the same result as earlier.
Okay.
So Havish, I have a question.
Yep.
So sometimes what happens, the sum value will be reflected. So instead of using the formula of sum, should I use the sum value? Will it be okay? Yeah, it will be showing error.
Tell me exactly what do you want me to do?
So sometimes what happens, here the sum value is not mentioned, right? So that is the reason you have taken a formula of sum. So sometimes what happens, the sum value is mentioned just last like to the column.
Like this.
Yeah. So instead of using the formula of sum, so if I use the formula aggregate and divided by the total number.
Absolutely.
So it will be okay.
38339. Instead of sum, we can mention 38339, right?
But keep in mind that if you write aggregate 9, 5 like this, the problem is that if you filter the data, if I only select Africa, the sum will go away.
Okay.
Please think about it. Where should you keep a sum? Never at the bottom. You should always keep a sum above the data so that it doesn't come in the filter. It's such a logical thing, no? We all write a formula at the bottom. If we have 10,000 rows, we put it in the 10,000 first row. But if you think about it, it makes more sense to keep the formula at the top of your sheet so that it is easier to find. Right, everyone? So sometimes, sometimes breaking habits is a good thing. Don't be in the habit of writing formulas below. Always write a formula at the top of the data. That is always better. Right? Okay.
Yeah, in dollar, then also the number should be kept, should be written above, so that.
Exactly. I mean, there are so many reasons for putting a formula at the top of the data, like I have done here. Don't you feel this is much easier rather than writing all of this after the data is over, which will make it more complicated? Because every time you have to
Every
go
time
up.
you have to scroll down. Every time you have to
So,
scroll down.
from a visual perspective, when you're presenting a report or a dashboard, or from a formula perspective, I think it is always better to write the formula at the top. Okay. Good. Now we come to if statements, right? Now there are two examples I will be covering for you. One is this one, where I'm saying that if the achievement is 100 to 124, 5,000 rupees incentive, 125 to 149, 10,000 rupees incentive, more than 150, 12,500. This is also a beautiful example. I have different customers with me. This is actually not employees. These are customers with me. And I want to find out if the customer will get an incentive or not. What is the condition? Three conditions, or rather four conditions. The achievement has to be more than 100%. First condition. Second condition, product A goal should be met. Third condition, product B goal should be met. And fourth condition, the customer should have been with the company for at least 2 years. Right? So can somebody tell me who will get the incentive out of all of these customers? Just look at the data. Tell me, will this person get the incentive? Yes or no?
So both the goals achieved above 100%.
These are the conditions. 100% achievement. Okay. Both product goals should be achieved and been with the company for more than 2 years. Will the first person get the incentive?
Five people are eligible, I think.
This is okay. Let's look at it one by one. This is definitely no. No. What about this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we need to calculate.
What about this one? Again, yes.
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 This is no, because this is no, right? This is also no.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Actually, this will be yes because it is exactly 100%. What about this one?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Because
No.
the person is 3 years old, but the achievement is not the same. This will also be no. Okay. Now tell me, how do I do all this with the formula? It's a very practical problem. No, you have to calculate for retailers, employees. You have to calculate commissions, slabs, right? So there are multiple conditions that have to be. What is the first thing that I do?
Some ifs.
No. If. Very simple. We do if. How many conditions are there?
Achievement.
Is it more than one?
Yeah. If IFS.
So we use and. And why are we using and? Because in if, how many conditions are allowed? Only one condition. If you have more than one condition, you use if with an and. In the and, how many conditions are allowed? Any guesses?
127.
Multiplied by 2, 255, right? 50. See, in some ifs, why is it 127? Because every condition is a pair. Criteria range, criteria, criteria range, criteria. Okay, but when you're using it in if, it allows 255 conditions, which you will never use. At most, you will use maybe 10 or 15, never more than that. Right? Okay, tell me, what is the first condition?
Always, you mentioned as one condition means we can put some if. Okay, if multiple condition means some ifs.
Absolutely.
Like this, for if condition, ifs is there.
Actually, yeah, you do have an IFS, but IFS will not work in this example. It's a little difficult to explain. IFS will only work when you have only one column but multiple conditions. Now we have multiple columns, so it will not work. In fact, I'll write it here. IFS will not work with this example. I will explain IFS in the next example. Okay? Tell me, what is the first condition?
Achievement.
Both product goals should have.
How do I know that the let's look at achievement first. How do I know that the achievement is more than 100%?
Target.
D6
target
divided by C6 should be what?
Yeah.
Lot of noise is coming, please.
Yeah, I'm
Requesting.
just going to mute everyone. Okay. I've just muted everyone. Please unmute yourself whenever you want to say something. Right? Okay. So D6 divided by C6, and then what?
D6 divided by
C6 should be what? It should be greater than
100%.
what? Greater than 100% is
100%.
better, right?
1 year.
Put a comma. How do I break the formula into the next line? Alt enter. Now the
Yeah.
second condition. What is the second condition? This is very simple. I will say that E6 should be equal to Y. Alt enter. F6 should be equal to Y.
Y.
Right? Now this fourth part is a little tricky. Let me explain it this way. So I'm just stopping this formula now. Right? We will come back to it. Because first I want to explain you how we find out if the person has been with the company for more than 2 years. How do I write today's date equal to what? If I want 23rd of June, what do I write?
Date.
Equal to?
Date.
Just put today.
Equal to?
Today.
Today with a open and close bracket, correct? It will give me the 23rd of June. Now, how do you tell me the difference between this and this?
Just subtract.
No. If you do that, it will only give you the number of days, but we want the number of years, no? So how do you convert 729 into years?
Minus 365.
But that is not accurate. I mean, what if there is a leap year, for example, right? So that will work. It will be very close to the correct answer, but the correct way of doing this is, please watch, there is a function called year frac, which is basically the difference between two dates as a fraction. Now tell me, what is the starting date?
G6.
Okay. What is the end date?
K6.
No. Or okay, same
Today,
thing.
today.
Now it is also asking me, do I want to look at actual by actual? That means if it's a leap year, it will take 366. If it is a non-leap year, it will take 365. It can also assume that every year is 360 because in a lot of calculations across organizations, they assume that a year is 360. What will we select? Actual by actual. Okay. And what will it tell me? It will tell me 1.9954, which makes sense. No, 25th June, 23rd June. So it's not exactly 2. It is a little less than 2.
Yeah.
Does everybody agree? Now, if I make this the 25th of June, will it become 2 exactly? What do you think? Now it's interesting. It will not become exactly 2, but it will come very close to it. Right? As you can see, when I make it,
we have not selected K6.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Let me change that here. Just a minute. So let me select K here. Okay. So if you notice, when I say 25th of June, it's actually a little more than that, 2.00091. But if I make the 23rd of June, it will come as 1.99. But I hope this makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now tell me. Now we go back. Now can somebody tell me what is the fourth condition that we have to write? We have already written 3 conditions. What is the fourth condition? Just a minute. Let me just increase the width of the cell so that all of you can see this properly. Equal to, tell me.
Come on.
Okay. Now what?
Open.
First the function. Year frac. What is the starting date? G6. What is the end date?
G6.
Today. Comma. 1, which is actual to actual. And what should this result be? What is the condition? The person should have been with the company for at least 2 years. So it should be
2 years.
Greater than or equal to 2. Right?
Double column, no? The double was.
I'm sorry. Just tell me, were you saying something?
Greater than equal to, you will be putting
greater than equal to, we need to put
colon,
into bracket, into the colon. Greater than equal to symbol.
So whenever you put greater than equal to, you will put colon, right?
Yeah. So I am happy that you remember it, but that is only true when you're doing it in sum if and count if. In an if, you don't require it.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Right? Okay. Now, can you see this red color? What does it mean? Why is the bracket red color? Where is the red starting? At the end. So can you compare both of them? This means that all my conditions are over, but the results are still pending. No? So what is the result? It will be Y. Otherwise, the result will be no.
Okay.
So it means that there are 4 conditions. All of them have to be true. Even if one of them is false, the result will be no. Otherwise, the result will be yes. As you can see, we get the perfect answer. Y, and Y. Please look at the formula now. Try it out. Ask me any questions that you have. Right? Also put some spaces in your formula. I like to do that. I feel that it makes it easier when you put spaces in your formula, but I leave that up to you, whether you want to or not. But I'm a programmer, and I always suggest that you should put spaces in your formula. It will make your job easier.
So no problem, right? For by putting the space, nothing.
Absolutely not.
No issues.
Absolutely not. Spaces are not a problem at all. On the contrary, spaces makes your formula much simpler. Because you can understand the formula much better. Like, look at this one, which is not bad. Look at this one. With spaces, it makes it easier. And you can put any number of spaces. There is no restriction on that.
Anyway, this is new learning for me because I don't know, first of all, whether we can break this formula by
Yeah, that
using
is very
alt enter.
important. Breaking formula is a must. Just, out of curiosity, if you are all wondering what will happen if I did not put spaces, look at this. The same formula which I have written will become like, it is not even fitting in this width. I'll have to increase the width even further. Look at this. This will be my formula, everyone. It is so much more complicated, isn't it, when you write it in one line? But the moment you break it into multiple lines, the same formula becomes much simpler immediately. Vishal, we do not need to use nested if, and I'll tell you the reason why. How many results do we have? Only 2 results, yes and no. So there is no point of keeping multiple if. If I said that there were 3 results, A, B, C, or good, bad, and excellent, then I need 2 if statements. If there are 5 results, then I need 4 if statements. But if you only have 2 results, there is no point of using another if, because there are 4 conditions, right? Inside the one if. We don't need another if statement here. Does that make sense? Fair enough. In the next example, you will see that we will be using multiple if statements, right?
I will just have one doubt. After today, you have just kept comma 1.
Right.
1 is for?
Yeah, the 1 basically means that it is an option. It means that I am looking at actual by actual. So I'm assuming that I'm looking at the complete number of dates in the year. So I'm assuming that the year has either 365 days or 366 days.
Correct.
That's all.
Havish, can you please show again this today options?
I'll just take a quick break and show you something. So I was born on 22nd November 1986, right? I'll be turning 35 this year. What is my age right now? What will I write? Equal to? Anyone?
Today.
No, first is year frat.
Year.
Starting date is my birth date. What is today? Today is today. And then I will do as per actual. That means divided by comma 1. So it will tell me that as of today, my age is 34.58.
Okay.
Now, if you change it, what will happen? It will change a little bit. Do you see this? If I make it 0, and rather than writing, just a minute. So rather than writing 0 here, I'm selecting this cell. Now you notice that when I change this to 0 or 1 or 2, the result is the same, but it is changing a little bit. Like when I make it 2, it makes it 35.08. Why has my age suddenly increased, which I'm not happy about? Because I've selected 2. 2 means that I'm assuming there are only 360 days in a year, actual divided by 360. That's the reason why. Right? So, okay, which one should you be using? You should be using actual by actual. Let's keep it simple. One is what you should be using all the time. Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, need a little more help in age calculation.
Okay, tell me. In the age calculation?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so what is G6? It is my starting date. What is today? Today is my end date. That means G6, if you notice, is my starting date.
Yes.
Today is my end date. What is the difference between the start and the end date? What is the result of this part? If I can just select everything.
The total number of years.
This is 1.995. That means that the person has been with the company for 1.99 years. Right?
Yes.
Not exactly 2 years. Right? Your frac has many other uses, like you have a contract, there is an expiry date, and you want to find out how much time has passed, not in the number of days, but in the as a fraction. You know, we tell people, will you tell somebody that I have 1 year and 3 months left for the expiry? No, you will say that we have 1.25 years left for the expiry. Correct? If that is what you need, then year frac is what you require. So take your time, and if you have any questions, please ask, because if is again very important. Yeah.
I have one question here. Air frag G6, comma today date we mentioned, comma 1 is accurate, right? After that, you close the bracket. Why? So we need to like
because this part which I am highlighting, this will give me a result as a number. Now, let's say the number is 1.99. Then I will have to check whether the number is greater than or equal to 2.
Okay.
Right? That's fine.
Again, after 2, you close the the bracket.
That is the and. That is the red color. That means that my conditions are over now. Right? So this and that I started here, I'm closing the and.
Got it.
Havish, I just did like equals to Iraq, my date of birth today, bracket open and close, and then comma 1.
Okay.
Then after basis, it is coming. What I need to write?
No, you're asking about the if formula, or are you trying a different formula?
No, Iraq. If
year frac. I mean, are you asking me about this one, or have you written it in another cell, the same formula?
No, in a new cell I've written my date of birth. Then I'm just calculating.
So date of birth. Let me write mine. Okay. So
okay.
Mine. Then this is what you wrote. Year frac.
Correct.
Starting date is your date of birth.
Correct. Comma. Today.
Comma.
We need to open the bracket and close the bracket.
Yes, that is a must, because today is a function, so you will have to open and close it. That is mandatory.
Okay.
Right? And then you will have comma 1.
Okay.
That's all.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, please go to the formula again.
Yes.
This
By the way, I'm sorry, just 1 minute. File. By the way, a very important tip. What is the shortcut to take a screenshot? Does anybody know? Like, if I want to take a screenshot of this formula, how do I do that?
Formula screenshot.
No. Much simpler than that. Windows Shift S. Please press this, everyone. Windows Shift S. 3 buttons. Are you getting this option?
Yeah, getting it.
It's a very simple way of taking a screenshot, no? Windows Shift and S.
It's a screenshot or screen clip?
It's a clip. So basically you can choose what area you want to take a clip of. But if you want to take a screenshot of the entire screen, you can select full screen. But by default, it will be on a snip.
Windows.
You also have some other options, but that we can ignore.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a shortcut. Actually, it is not the snipping tool because the snipping tool is a different tool, right? Which sort of does the same thing. Oh, no, you're right. So the snipping tool actually has now got updated. Absolutely correct. So it is a shortcut to the snipping tool. Okay, also, can you tell me how am I doing this? How do I zoom in like this? Anyone? This is Windows plus and Windows minus. Okay, so Windows plus plus and Windows minus. I'll just try to type this so that you don't get confused. Windows plus and Windows minus allows you to zoom in and zoom out. Whatever you have on your system, if you want to zoom in, you can just do it like this.
Okay, it is quite useful in giving presentations. If you want to zoom.
Like for me, this is super important because I'm a trainer, so I have to zoom in. But for everybody, there are many cases where zooming in is very useful, right?
Yes.
Yes, we always take the entire screen, and put it in the paint and cut, crop it, and putting in the PPT.
It's much simpler, right? Yeah. Great. Any question on this? Anyone?
Your working file you will be sending, right?
Yeah. So yesterday's file I've already sent to you. After this session is over, I will again send you a new email with the recording and the file.
Fantastic.
By the way, after this topic, we will be starting with VLOOKUP tomorrow. And of course, on VLOOKUP, we will have to spend a lot of time because I know that all of you know VLOOKUP, but I will tell you how to write more advanced VLOOKUP, right? How to make fewer errors and how to improve the way you work, basically.
So that would be in next session.
Tomorrow's session.
Okay. Can we start from the basic, like VLOOKUP starting?
We will, absolutely. Do not worry. I'm starting on the absolute basics, but we will not do only the basics. I will take you from basic to advanced.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any questions on this, anyone?
One doubt. See, if we have worked out for G6, right? By putting this formula and we drag down. My doubt is there is no requirement to put the $sign here.
Not really. In fact, you cannot put the $sign because in every cell, the values are changing, the cells are changing. So how can you put the $sign?
Okay.
Right? So $signs cannot be.
But if function, the $sign may come.
It may come, absolutely. See, that really depends
I have a question.
The type of formula you're writing. So definitely it is possible that it might come, but in this case, $signs are not there.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Avish, so in the entire formula, I've got everything. See, the first condition we have given for whether the person has achieved 100% or not, right?
Correct.
Second
Actually,
is product A goal
at least 100%, 100% or more.
At least more than or equal to 100%, right?
Absolutely.
Second condition we have given is E6, either product A goal is met or product B goal or both, right?
Not either, both of them have to be met. Right?
Yeah. Fourth condition we have given is year. I mean, 2 years in the organization, right?
Exactly.
So lastly, we have written G6 today 1 and more than or equal to is equal to 2. So is that 2 denotes the number of years?
Yeah. So year frac will tell me that if somebody joined on 25th June, how many years has the person been working? So in this case, the answer will be 1.99. Right?
Okay.
That's
So
what does
if it is if the condition is 3 years, then at the place of 2, it will be replaced by 3.
Absolutely. You can change it.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Havish, what is that 1 in this formula? I missed it.
This one? This number 1?
Yes.
This is just an option.
One is exact.
Year frac, which means that we are finding as per the actual number of days in the year. Because in certain financial calculations, we might have to, do it 360 or 365 days.
So Avish, finally, can you please note it down to how to calculate the year one? Only to enter the year frag. After that, we need to choose the column, or equal to year frag we need to start.
No, year frag. This is the starting date, right? And then today. What is the question again?
My question is, if I enter my date of birth, right?
Okay. Okay.
So how can I calculate the exact age?
Sure. I just answered that. Just a minute. Okay. So let's say you have written your date of birth here. So I have 1986. I can say equal to year frag. Starting date will be my date of birth. Then I write today, comma 1, like this. Or let us say this is the date of joining of a person, right? Whatever it is. So this will be the answer, 34.5.
Date of birth equal to year frag, comma today. Okay.
Right.
Understood.
I wish I was trying same formula. Somehow I'm getting like only dot value something and this exclamation mark.
Just change it to a number. Just make sure that the format is a number on that side.
After doing that also, I'm not getting anything.
Just check if you have done the same thing.
Abhish, I am trying, but it's showing some error. I don't know.
Some mistake. Maybe the date is not correct or something.
No, written the date.
First was equal to
1989.
Date format, it should be correct format, right? Otherwise,
yeah, this
it may
should
not
be a
take.
proper date format. Just make sure of that. That this is a proper date. Like I've written 22 NOV 1986 like this.
Wish after doing that also same error.
We start from month, right? In the system.
Sure. Just give me one minute.
I am also getting same error.
Sorry, everyone. All yours. Please tell me.
So the formula is, so I have noted down my date of birth.
Okay.
So the formula is equal to year frag, then bracket, I can start the bracket. Then I need to click on the date.
Right.
That is K7 it's coming, then comma, today, bracket start and bracket close, near to today. Then a comma, then 1, then bracket close. Am I correct?
Okay. Yes. What is the result you're getting?
But it's showing some error. It's showing value something.
No. Can you share your screen? I'll have to see.
I think we same error We are two, three
Just
guys.
a second,
We are
I'm
getting the
sharing.
same.
Yeah, let me see the screen. Vishal, you have said that today
Even
is
I am
30th
also
of June.
getting same error, Havish.
Just a second, I'm
Yeah,
sharing.
Vishal, if you do not want to write today, which will always give you the current date, then like we wrote the starting date and another cell, you can write the end date also. Oh, you mean a constant, like you want a date to be saved. I will explain that to you as well. But that will have to be done manually, but let me think of, I can give you some other way of it. Let me first solve this problem.
Just a second, I'm sharing.
No problem.
Okay, this is the date.
No, I want to make sure whether it is a date or not. Just to equal to in any cell. No, that
Okay,
is okay. Let
okay.
it be like that. Go to any other cell, write equal to, select that cell and do
Year
plus
flag.
2.
Equal to, no? Equal to, select the cell.
Yeah, and do plus 2. Plus 2. I want to see what result you're getting. So it is a date. Perfect. Now, that's it. You can
Okay.
write equal to year flag.
Then equal to
Year flag.
year flag, bracket start.
Bracket. Select that.
Select the date, comma.
Right.
And today.
Today, bracket open, close.
Bracket open, close. Then comma, then one.
One, bracket close,
then
enter.
bracket close.
Enter.
Oh, it's coming now.
No, it's not coming. It is giving you an
It's
error.
not coming.
I'm thinking. Just let me think. 1 second. Oh, it is okay. Just convert this into a number. This is a date format. Convert it into a number. It will work properly. Number. Yeah.
Just a second.
The answer is correct. 1.7.
Understood. Understood. Okay.
Right. There was
Thank you.
most welcome. There was one other question, which was that you don't want to have today, you want to have a constant. Let me just see who asked that. Vishal, right? Yeah. So Vishal, what you can do, can you give me an example? What is the constant date that you want?
So Havish, suppose it is an incentive file and it has to be frozen by 30th of June 21. Okay. And suppose if someone opens it up after 1 month, okay, the today function will give the current date and the that complete calculation will go haywire.
Right. But why can't you then give the start and the end date?
That can be one way.
Just I'll do it. Okay. So, but why can't you give the start and the end date in that case?
Yeah, that can be one way. Is there any other way? I mean,
There is
that is
one
a
more
complete
way.
hard coding.
So, yeah. So what you can do is, let's say you have some dates with you. Okay. I'm just writing some dates here.
Yeah.
So let's say we have dates between 44,000 and 44,500. Okay. Okay. So once we have done this, once I have my dates with me, you can say hard coded. So you have to go to formulas, right? Then go to name manager and you can create a new name. So I can say that my name is my date, whatever, right? Some date is there. And then the value will be, this is where you can write the value. I think this should work. Let me just try it once. Just give me some date here.
Say 30th June, 30th June 21.
30th June will not work because, okay,
Okay,
select
future
30th. No,
date,
that's okay. That's okay. We can select 30th June 2021. So this is my date. So now you should be able to write, 1 second. Let me just make sure that all of these dates are before the 30th of June, which is okay. So now I can write year flag, start date, then we can write my date, comma 1. And it is not working. Let me just think, just a minute.
You have to invoke that function also, I guess.
No, I think that maybe this cannot be inside. Just see. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
But it's not working properly. It's giving me 120.
It's not working. It is,
Just let me check.
Havish, I was facing the same problem what the Raja faced.
No, let me just answer it one by one.
Can I share my screen?
No, just a minute. Let me just answer one question at a time. So what you will do is, I'll tell you. You first have to say 30th of June, okay? Now, what is the 30th of June? The 30th of June is a number, right? What number is it? It is
A date.
44377. Okay, just remember this, 44377. Now I can go to name manager, and rather than writing the date, I will write the number. So I will say that my number is 44377. Once you have done this, then you should be able to do year flag, start date, my date, comma 1, and you will get the answer.
Yes, got it. Fair.
Yeah, this would be the way of doing it.
So name manager is a local function which I can create.
So the
right?
scope is in the workbook. So anywhere in the workbook, when you write equal to my date, it will tell you the date.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, somebody else had a question.
So I am getting the same problem.
No, tell me once again, what problem do you have?
Same what the Raja has shared with you.
Yeah, I share the answer, no? So you'll have to go to the name manager.
Yeah, I'm not getting. After doing that, also the same.
No, you'll have to just make sure you've done it properly, equal to the number like this.
No, Havish, he is saying that he is having different. Mahesh, you have to go to home and change the format from date.
This
that
format has
should
to
be
be
in the date
changed.
format.
So the result has to be in a number format. Okay, just share your screen. Let's see. Also, this is the last question I will answer for today because I have another session starting at 11:45. So I will need a 5-minute break. Right? Any questions you have, I'll answer it tomorrow. Please share your screen. Let's answer one more.
Yeah. Just.
Sure.
You see it?
Yeah. What is the date that you have written? 23rd February
1989.
Okay, just go to the formula.
This is in.
No, this is okay. This format doesn't matter. This is okay. Go to the other one. Yeah, year frank K6 today. No, it's not. I don't know. It looks okay.
Should I do it again?
Yeah, do it again once. Yeah, Arpit, I'll share the file after the session. I'll share it at 1 o'clock when I have a break. I'll not be able to share before that. Yeah, that means the format is not correct. Just type it once again. This is okay. Let the formula be there. Go to the 23rd February. Just write 23 FEB 1989. 23 FEB 1989 with a space. That's okay. This should also work. Just put a space. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming now.
So your format was not correct.
But when I checked, it was a date only.
No. You did not type it as a date, but you converted it to a date. That will not work. Earlier, it was not a date. It was a text format. Yeah. That's the reason. Right. Okay. Everyone, I will have to excuse myself. Any questions that you have? We still have one example left in F, which we will cover tomorrow, and we will start with VLOOKUP as well. The file and the recording I will share by 1 o'clock, 1 or 1:50.
Sure, Havish.
Thank you, Havish. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.